going to talk about every book that brought me joy this year. So I thought I'd do something like sort of related to Christmas. Ashley over at Bookish Realm is doing Vlogmas, and she had this great idea where she's like naming all of these different books and then a song that goes along with them. Definitely check it out. I'll leave her channel link below. So I thought I would do Joy to the Book World. So the first book that brought me joy this year was Cemetery Boys by Aiden Thomas. This brought me so much joy. The character interactions, particularly between Yadriel and Jules, but also between Yads and his cousin. There's this part where they refer to themselves as the Scooby Gang and like talk about who's who within the Scooby Gang, and it brought me so much joy, and all the food descriptions. Joy. The next one that brought me joy was The City We Became by N.K. Jemisin. This brought me joy because I loved, again, the character interactions. I just loved how as soon as they all became the different parts of the city, all the different characters, all the bureaus became like one, how they just like had this connection. I loved that. I thought that that was so beautiful, and I love connections between characters, between like unlikely characters who typically would not have like teamed up and like been there for each other. My heart. The next one that brought me joy was Mirage. This brought me joy because it has the decoy trope. And also I just really loved, I think it did such a good job having like a nuanced conversation about colonization, and the scene between the decoy and the person who she's mirroring. She goes and sees her grandmother pretending to be her granddaughter, but then she finds out that she's actually from the same clan as the grandmother, and their connection, and they like speak the same language. That was just so beautiful, and I like loved how the grandma finally got to feel like she had like a granddaughter who she could connect with. Oh my god, this is all about human connections. Like that's all this video is. Going along with the same theme, Clap When You Land by Elizabeth Acevedo. Oh my gosh. First of all, it brought me joy because I listened to the audiobook, and I have said this before and I will say it again, her voice is like honey on a biscuit. It is warm and rich, and it's like you're being wrapped in a hug. I loved it. So Clap When You Land is about sisters and finding family who you didn't know you previously had, because these half sisters find out about each other after their father dies in a plane crash, and it's written in verse, so it's even more beautiful than already is as a story. But like that whole found family, like that long lost family thing, is something that I've actually experienced in looking for my grandpa's biological family, so that was like really special to me. Next one I'm going to talk about is the Henna Wars. This was so beautiful because I loved hearing about the main character's culture and how important henna was to it, and it does a really good job about talking about cultural appropriation, but it's also just like a really sweet love story. Like it's just like the most wholesome romance between these two girls, and it was so precious. And then it also discussed like how other cultures deal with their daughters coming out, and oh my gosh, and then also food descriptions. I loved it. Okay, we're just gonna put that there because it's having trouble. Next one I'm going to talk about is Alatsoe by Darcy Little Badger. Oh no, I haven't been saying authors' names again. Oh, I'm so bad at that. So Alatsoe had the best family dynamic where this family is figuring out this mystery together of Elle, the main character. Her cousin dies, and they're trying to figure out the why and how of the mystery, because they know who did it, they just don't know why or how or what. So they're like, they band together to like figure out the mystery of that, and I loved that family dynamic. And it brought me joy because there was ghost dogs and ghost mammoths. I've done a whole video on animal sidekicks, like magical animal sidekicks. That's my thing. The next one that brought me joy is All Boys Aren't Blue by George M. Johnson. Oh man, this was, I cried so many times, but also like just hearing him like be his truest self, and he narrated the audiobook, brought me so much joy. Like it brought me a lot of pain to listen to what he went through, but like hearing him, like having written that book for the other queer kids who will read it, was just, it brought me a lot of joy, because the good that he's doing in writing that, yeah, brought me a lot of joy. I promise these are happy tears. And the last one I'm going to talk about is Motherhood So White by Nefertiti Austin. This is a nonfiction, and it's about a woman adopting, and typically hearing her the first time she meets her son, and her finally working through the adoption system to fully adopt him, and then adopting his siblings. It brought me a lot of joy. It was really beautiful. And if you're interested in learning more about adoption and how like race intersects with that, it's really, really informative, and it's just a really good audiobook. I highly recommend it. So those are all the books that brought me joy in 2020. Leave yours down below. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. I will see you next time. Bye.